how you doing? My name's Mike, and we got Mr. Iroh with us today. And yes, I pronounced his name wrong on the first video. His name is not Iron, it is Iroh. I misread his name on our contract. I kind of thought maybe they named him after Iron Mike Tyson. No, it's Iroh. So we got Mr. Iroh with us, and I got my dog, Mr. Roots, hanging out. They're both hanging out on plates, doing a good job. And so Mr. Iroh has only been with us for about a week now, and you know, we've introduced things like the pressure concept with him just listening to the leash and, you know, following the pressure, and we started introducing place, as you can see, to him, and kind of teaching him how to sit. He was pretty good with sit, like from the beginning. If I would just tell him sit, he would do it. Like his body would go to the position. But the real issue with owners and their dog knowing how to sit is that almost every owner doesn't really understand how to keep the dog sitting. A sit does not mean the dog hits the ground, the butt hits the ground, then the dog does what he wants. A sit means the dog sits there until we give another command. So I'm going to go ahead and start working him in his routine of the things he knows right now, and just kind of talk you guys through what's going on here. So he's a very big dog, so he's got a pretty big collar on him, and he's very good at pulling. So we want the collar high up on the neck. It's tough to keep it there because the way you size the collars, it doesn't, like, pretty much every dog, it's either a little too small or a little too big. So with him, it's just a little too big, so it slouches on his neck a little bit. We kind of have a little less control that way. So just because I pick up the leash place, I don't say stay, I just repeat the command. So just because I pick up the leash doesn't mean he can just get up. He has to wait for me to actually tell him, okay, heel, sit. So if he doesn't still, say no, sit, and I just give a little tug on the leash. Heel, sit. So again, no. I'll put pressure on the collar, and I'm not going to say good boy to him either until he does it on his own. We don't want to have to correct the dog and then tell them good boy. We want the dog to do it on their own. So there's two ways I'm going to correct him. I'm either going to hold the leash, the pressure, until he sits and then release it, or I'm just going to give him a pop and then for him to sit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tell him a little more sternly to sit, and he's probably going to sit. That's kind of what I experienced with him lately. Heel, sit, attaboy, good sit. Good job, Iroh. Heel, sit. So I'm just going to project my voice a little more for him at this time. Sit, good boy, sit. So I'm not going to say stay. I'm going to tell him sit as I move around him. We don't want to say the word stay. Good boy, good sit. If we say the word, when we say sit, the stay is implied in every command that we do. If we say stay, we're really telling the dog, stay sitting. Sit. So when I say that, I'm reminding him. So instead of saying stay, say the command you want the dog to do. That's going to cut the communication down to fewer words, making the communication clearer for the dog. Sit. So you see me keep adjusting that collar. If I adjust that collar high up, he's going to want to stay. He's going to want to keep up with me a little bit better. Good sit, boy. And so I can leave him in this sit position for a little bit since he's a very excitable dog, and that's actually going to calm him down. If he breaks it, I'll simply tell him no, correct him, and put him back in that position. No, sit. He can't itch or anything like that. No, no, sit. He can't go to itch his butt or anything like that when he's in the sit, because what dogs will do is they'll use that as a manipulation tactic. So heel. Good boy. Heel. He also has another dog in the room that's a little bit of a distraction for him. Heel. Attaboy. See how I want him to follow this leash? Good boy. No. Heel. So I give him a little tug. If he doesn't follow, good boy. If he doesn't follow with me, like right here, there's a little tug. See that? Now it's not too hard. Sit. So if he doesn't sit, no, sit. So no correction direction. You see how even though he's a large dog, I can still tug on him lightly. I don't have to do it hard for him to listen. It's about timing, not the strength. It's all about the timing. Heel. Sit. Attaboy, good sit. So I'm either telling the dog no or I'm telling the dog good boy. If I tell the dog no, it follows up with a punisher. If I tell the dog good boy, it follows up with no. Sit. It follows up with affection. Do you see how he keeps trying to itch himself? He keeps trying to break the sit. Trust me, it is not a mistake. Heel. Sit. He's just trying to see what he can get away with it. Attaboy, good sit. See how he thought about it for a second, and then he did it. Heel. So now we're going to go ahead and throw his heel. Sit. So no, pull up, sit, and release pressure. Place. So now that he's on place, I'm not going to tell him to sit or lay down. He just simply needs to stay on that spot. Now, if he goes to jump off, then it's my job to be very quick about it and correct him right away. So what I want to point out is as you see me walking him in a circle and I'm working with him, when it gets over to my dog, he kind of does this. He doesn't come with me, basically. He kind of stares at him, lets the leash get pressure on it, and then kind of moseys along with me. Now, a lot of owners end up letting the dog do that because their timing's not right. I'm going to go ahead and show you. See, now he can itch himself. Now he's on place. He's allowed to itch himself. I'm going to go ahead and walk him past my dog again, and I'm going to correct him right before his eyes meet my dog, and you'll see how he'll start learning. Good place, buddy, good place. So if he does a good job at the command, he gets rewarded. Good place. Heel. So watch him as he goes by my dog here. Watch. Heel. Now watch this time. More. Watch. Heel. No. Heel. It's only going to take him a couple times to learn. Here we go. Watch again. Here we go. Attaboy. Good boy. Sit. Attaboy. Good job. Good boy. Heel. See how he learned? If he's not good at something, we got to practice it. Attaboy. Sit. No. Sit. Good job, buddy. I'm telling him good job because he ignored my dog. Good job, buddy. Good boy. But you see how that worked? He did something that wasn't working. I was doing something that wasn't working. Place. I was doing something that wasn't working. I was letting him turn the corner in a lazy way, make the leash taut, and he's looking at my dog. So for me to clean that up, it's all about timing. As I go this way, and when his eyes even go to meet my dog, I'm correcting him. The first time I did it, it affected him. The second time, he still did it, but he hesitated doing it. The third time, he knew for sure, I shouldn't do this. He's going to correct me. The fourth time, again, he knew for sure and did not do it. That is how you create a behavior in a dog. And we simply keep doing that over and over again. And the more repetitions you do, soon he won't even think about looking over that way during an exercise like this. But he did really good today. We practiced his sit, his place. I walked around him, so his sit, stay. We practiced him working with a distraction and keeping his eyes off of that distraction. So this was a very excitable dog, but he's doing very good. He's a big guy, and as you can see, even though he's also not neutered, we can still train the dog. The dog does not have to be neutered to train. Sometimes it can make it a little harder because there's more testosterone in the room. So that's basically the bottom line with that. But even though he's a bigger dog, I don't have to lead him over here to my dog and yank him real hard. That's something that a lot of trainers you'll see do, and he doesn't need it real hard. Now, if the dog was at a crazy level trying to hurt my dog, then we would increase the punishment, but that's if the dog's trying to kill the other dog. That's when we would do a much more pronounced leash pop. But with a dog like him, you would never want to do that. You would actually make him not want to work with you as much as if you were to do that. So that's why You see how we go over it again and again, and we try to do it with the least amount of pressure possible, but we do it with just enough pressure to get the job done. You know, if the dog 1 out of 10, if Iroh is looking at roots at a level 6, I got to come in with a leash pop that's at a level 7 or above to deter him from keep on doing that. So that's kind of how dogs work. I could go on all day about these little interactions, but unfortunately it takes a long time to upload stuff to YouTube. So we got to keep the videos kind of to about 10 minutes, and he did good today. Again, it's his first week, and it's repetition. That's what's going to make muscle memory. That's what's going to get you a good trained dog.